Hello everyone, welcome back to Data Engineer YouTube channel. In this video, we will talk about introduction to notebooks in Fabric. So let's get started. Also, we'll see the internal, so stay tuned, right? So firstly, I am in my Fabric platform in new demo workspace. What I will do is I'll quickly create a data lake or lake house, sorry. So what I will do is I'll create a lake house. I'll name it as my lake house dev1 and I will quickly click on create. Now, what is a lake house? I have already created a video on that. You can see it if you don't know what actually a lake house is. Uh, Now the lake house is created and you can see we have nothing as of now. It's empty. So what I will do is I'll start with some sample data. So we have that option to generate some sample data. So I'll click on that option and in within seconds we will be having a random table here, right? Now my lake house is created. I have some data in my lake house. What I will do is now I will create a notebook. So I will search for notebook and my notebook is created. So based on whatever your project name is, you can rename the notebook name. And now first step is to connect your notebook to the lake house. So how we can do that? It's very easy. We can click on this lake house. We can click on add and then press the add button. So once we do that, we will get all the lake house available across all our workspaces. So this is the one which I recently created. So I will click on add. Now you may have a question that what if I have a Azure data lake or a blob storage? Can I connect to that? Yes, you can do that. But the method is different. We will see in the upcoming videos, right? Now my lake house is connected here. So this is the platform where you can write the code and you can write the code in multiple languages. If you know PySpark, Sparks, using Scalar, Spark SQL or Spark R, you can use any of the language, which you are comfortable with. I will select Spark SQL. So here, now you can write all the SQL queries, just like in your Azure SQL. If you have used Azure SQL, simply you can, write those queries here itself. So it will work perfectly. Now, firstly, we need to connect to a cluster. So I'm just, starting a new session. And once we start a session, it's internally starting a cluster for us. Now, what's a cluster? We will see the internals in some time. So don't worry. All right. Now cluster is ready. So, and the session is ready. So let me just write a simple SQL query. All right. So now, our session is started. We need to start the session. And once the session is not started, so what we can do is we can query the data. We can, modify the data. We can filter the data. And then we can store it in the form of marked tables in different folders, however you want, right? We'll see that in the upcoming sessions. So first, let me just write a simple query to read the data from public holidays. So I am using Spark SQL. You can change the language from here, whatever language you're comfortable with. Yeah. So I'm just writing the query. I'm just letting the everything from the public holidays table. So let me just run this, right? It will only get run once the session is started. Otherwise, it will not run, right? So if you can see, we have something called Spark jobs. So you can see there are a lot of stages and jobs, right? Now what's that? So let's see that. And you can see the data, right? You can even download the data. You can see the charts. You can, download it in the form of any these JPG, PNG, SVG, the charts. And even you can download the data in CSV, JSON or XML. So it will just show the top 1,000 rows by default. You can search it, you can inspect it, and there are multiple features you can use, right? But now main thing is what is this job and this stage? Already, like if you have used Azure SQL, we haven't seen something like this, right? So what's that? So what actually is happening is this is your notebook, let's assume, and you have written some code, right? You have performed some operations on your data, right? So now what will happen is, so this will go to the Spark context. And once it is in Spark context, so this is a Spark cluster, okay? Cluster is nothing but computation. So a source which provides computation. So cluster have multiple nodes. So these are Spark nodes. We call them as what? Nodes. Now, whatever is the query you wrote, right? So that is broken down into multiple parts internally, automatically by using Spark context. And the work is distributed across these nodes. So one is master node and others are slave nodes. So the work is equally distributed. And then once they all give some result, so that is collected together, appended, and then the output is provided to you. So you can see the whatever query you write, so that is divided into multiple jobs and stages, and then we are able to see the output. So it's the internal mechanism, right? Although you're writing SQL, but internally this SQL is getting converted to Spark, and then it is getting executed on the clusters, right? So this is how big data analytics in Fabric work. I hope you got to know about like the internals part and your first notebook part, right? So in upcoming videos, we will even see how we can write the Spark, PySpark commands, because that are very much required, and basically if we use Spark SQL, it's fine. But if you want to, enhance or you want to optimize it further, we can use PySpark. So PySpark is also recommended to learn. So we will see some sessions on PySpark as well, how we can, use PySpark to read the data, to modify the data, and so on. All the basic operation we'll cover. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you and have a nice day.